we are looking at the topic handling your spouse's emotions. It's a pity I can't give you all of what we talked about last week. Somebody said that we are created with two big holes in our heart. One for God and one for somebody to love. So every one of us have emotional needs, some as unique as we are. But generally, there are about 5 top basic emotional needs for males and females. And we are going to look at the emotional needs peculiar to each gender and then move on from there. Okay, for the woman, I think I'll talk about the woman first, since I am one. And then you'll give me a help when we're talking about a man. I'm not a man. I don't know how it feels like.
Is it the one they say, women first after men?
Okay, whichever. All right. For the woman, her emotional needs in marriage are, in fact, the number one is affection.
Okay.
That is so important to every woman that has blood in her veins.
Okay.
The need to know that she is loved. The need to be held. The need to, you just communicate to her that she's loved. It's not outright sexual fulfillment, but affection. Because why I'm stressing that is because for the man it's different. I understand it's different. So affection comes top of the list. And then we have the second need is the need for communication. She wants to be told that she is loved. And in fact, on top of all you do to show that you love your wife, tell her. You buy her gifts, that doesn't say it. That's part of it. But she needs it to be said. And maybe that's why, women get easily, would I say deceived? Because that aspect of tell me, they like to hear. And if the guy is not sincere, he can just tell her anything.
Keep telling her since she wants to hear.
All right, that's the second need, the need for communication, and then the need for openness and honesty. She wants to know details.
Tell her the truth, be honest.
Yes, she doesn't want you to exaggerate. So you need to be honest and open. A woman also needs financial support. You might ask, how does that come in as an emotional need? She needs somebody to pay the bills, no matter what you earn. Even if she earns more than you do, she still wants to know that your money is somehow.
This language, they say she wants to feel you financially.
Okay, I promise myself I won't be laughing too much tonight, but you have a way of just making me, laugh. You'll be surprised that it affects the way she responds to her husband.
That's true.
So don't just think, okay, my wife is earning big money, she doesn't need mine. Buy her a gift. Let her know that at least you're spending something on her.
That's true. And
lastly, she needs that family commitment. She wants to know that you take the family as important. That you don't just meet the needs of people outside and neglect your family. So those are the 5 basic needs: affection, communication, openness and honesty, financial support, and finally, family commitment. Now, for the man, this has come from proven studies in the field of psychology. So it's not just something I assumed. For the man, they said what ranks highest is sexual fulfillment, and then recreational companionship, and a man also wants to have an attractive wife. I don't know how, is that true?
It's true.
And she wants a wife she can be proud of. It's more than looks. When we talk about an attractive wife, it's more than looks. It's your looks and then your personality and your style.
In fact, if a woman is very pretty to the outside, to the people who are looking at her, but in her own internal eyes, she is ugly. It will affect. Well, we'll talk about that when we are looking at the self-esteem things.
Okay. A man also needs domestic support. It's still part of an emotional need. He still needs you to cook his meals. It doesn't matter, civilization has done a lot to the family. In last 2 weeks or thereabout, we talked about changing roles.
That's right.
But despite, even if you're a career woman, your husband still needs domestic support. To me, I think is our primary calling, and then the man needs admiration and respect. And there's something you keep saying on this program, that respect is so important to the man. In fact, he may not be that interested in I love you, but he wants to know that you respect him and you admire him greatly.
We have allowed, we've given over I love you to you people. You can take that. But
All
we
right.
want respect.
Respect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, there's no problem with that. I
Yeah.
give you respect. You give me I love you.
No problem.
And
No
we
problem.
just have a great time. Okay.
problem.
So we needed to spell that out.
Thank you very much. I'll say a little bit about self-esteem. Self-esteem, and we'll now flow into how to handle your spouse's emotion.
Okay.
All right.
The program you're listening to is Lifeline with Pastor I.D. Imomana and Reverend Robert Ntefon, and we're talking about handling your spouse's emotion.
Thank you very much. Last edition, we were looking at coping,
Yeah.
and that suggests that your spouse has a problem or it's very difficult to live with. So you have to have a way of coping with her difficulty or his difficulty in terms of emotions. But today it's more of handling, and we're going to emphasize that of boosting your spouse's self-esteem. Because, well, this is very personal. I've not carried out any research, but I tend to observe that a spiritually high person has a good level of emotional backing. When a woman or a man is low emotionally, it's very likely he's not going to do well spiritually. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's somehow surprising, because people think to be spiritual means to lack emotion, that you just blank
You are
out.
blank. Well,
But it's not so. I think I share the same experience.
let me read you a scripture. You know, each time I read this and it says, it talks about man living with a woman according to knowledge. I had to go back and read and found out that it was a continuation from somewhere. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7 says, likewise ye husbands, dwell with them. The them there is your wives according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto. I like that English. As unto. It didn't say to a weaker vessel. No, it says as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. That sounds like if she's not emotionally okay, God can stop answering your prayer.
That's a dangerous one.
Okay. Now, but if you see from verse 1, it's hidden there that a woman also has to live with a man according to knowledge. Likewise, that's verse 1. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. Now, conversation here is not talking about discussion, it's talking about lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, is it there in Amplified?
Okay, it says they may be won over not by discussion, but by the godly lives of their wives.
You understand?
Okay.
So if you look at that verse again, you see that a wife is also expected to live with a man according to
So knowledge, yeah.
You need to know the things that are peculiar to man. For instance, you don't give a man what you need. For instance, the number one for women is affection. So if you give me too much of affection, I'll be looking at you. You should find out what is my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number one is not your number one.
Yeah. So I give you what you need, not what I need.
You are in the spirit.
Always.
Yes. You're in the spirit. And I saw this other scripture. I know that very many religious minds, if they see this thing, if they had a chance to write the Bible, they would have written it otherwise. Now, verse 2 of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 says, but I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord. Well, this is rare. How he may please the Lord. I heard a preacher today say that many singles today are caring about marriage.
Instead of the things of the
No,
Lord.
not the things of the Lord. They care about the things of wedding. Verse 33 says, but he that is married careth for the things that are of the Lord.
Okay.
how he may please his... Come on. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife.
Oh. Did the Bible say that? Yes.
Believe me. Read the next verse. Read the next verse.
What verse is that?
That's verse 34 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says, and he is drawn in diverging directions. His interests are divided and he's distracted.
Okay.
And from his devotion to the Lord. And the unmarried woman or girl is concerned and anxious about the matters of the Lord, how to be wholly separated and set apart in body and spirit. But the married woman
But the married woman,
has her cares
Yeah.
centered in earthly affairs.
in other words,